Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to make this beautiful sweater. I'm back from my trip and this is my first project since I'm back, and it's a beautiful fall sweater. It's very warm and I love the color. The color of the main materials is called Harvest and the other one is golden. So it's a beautiful combination for the fall. Well, here is the list of material you're going to need to make this beautiful sweater. To make this sweater, the yarn I'm going to use is a Lion brand home spoon, and the color is Harvest, and it's bulky 5, and I'm going to use a contrast color of Lion brand home spoon, and the color is golden, bulky 5. They recommend to use a 5mm crochet hook, and that's what I'm going to use, a 5mm crochet hook. They are 98% acrylic and 2% polyester, and the amount of yarn that each ball of yarn has is 170 gram or 6 ounces, 169 meter or 185 yarn. I really don't know the amount of yarn that I'm going to use, but I'll let you know at the end of when I finish the sweater. This is a very easy sweater. I already made one for baby. It's very simple. Any beginner can make it. And okay, let's start making this adult sweater. Here I wanted to show you how you're going to do your chain. This is for sample purpose. You're going to start in your front. You're going to do a chain all the way to your shoulder and all the way around the back. That's going to be the size and length of your sweater. Depend on your height. If you want it shorter, you want it longer, you can do a sweater as long as you like, or a jacket. The amount of chain that you have to do is you can divide it in 3 parts the same. For example, if you do 90, you'll have 30 for the front, 30 for the sleeves, and 30 for the back. Or 120 will be 40, 40, and 40. That if you want it a normal size sweater. But if you want a long sweater, for example, you want it as long as your knee, you will have 2 parts the same and less for the sleeve. Because if you have for the sleeve the same amount, like in 3 parts, you will have a sleeve that will go to your waist. This will be too big. So I hope you understand my explanation here. And so you have to do your chain from your front, around your shoulder to the back, at the length that you want your sweater. Something else that I forgot to mention, you will need a tapestry needle, and you will need buttons for the front of your sweater or jacket, and you will need as many as the length you're going to give to your piece. Okay, so I'm going to start with my sweater. I'm going to start with my chain. I measure 5.5, so the length that I'm going to give mine is around my thighs. So you can figure out from there how long or how short you want yours. I'm going to start with this. Is going to be the main color of the sweater or jacket, and this is going to be the color for around the front and the collar and the cuff of the sleeve. I'm going to start with the slip knot. And I'm going to start with 90 chains. I'm going to measure the 90 chains, and if I like the length, I will leave it like that. If I don't like the length, I will do 120. And then I will let you know the amount I will do for mine. So tell me you hear when I have my chain. I made 150 chains for mine, 50 for the front, 50 for the sleeves, and 50 for the back. Now I'm gonna put my finger in the last chain, and I'm gonna chain 3. Now I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th chain from the hook, I'm gonna do a double crochet, and that's the second double crochet. If I did 150 chain, I had to have 150 double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet in each chain space. And since this yarn is very bulky and thick, will be very cozy and very fast sweater to make. So I'll meet you here when I have my 150 double crochet. I finished here my 150 double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 3, and always those chain 3 counts as the first double crochet. You're going to turn your work around, and you don't see it here because this color is a blended color, but I can see the back strand here. So in the back strand is where we're going to do our double crochet. And remember, you have to do the same amount that you did in the beginning. For me, it had to be 150 in the back strand. Well, look how quick these get wide because it's a nice and thick yarn. So I'll meet you here at the end. I'm 150 stitch. Here I finish my 150. Now I chain 3, and always counts at the first double crochet. Turn my work around and do exactly the same. 150 double crochet in the back strand, and you're gonna do that for a few rows. I'm gonna show you a graphic that I have here to show you what I'm doing. What we're doing is this. I start in here, and then I did my chain, and then I'm gonna do this like this until here, quite a few rows, and then we stop, and then we work on the back, and then we do some chain and start working on the other side of the front of the sweater or jacket. Mine is a size large, so I'll let you know how many rows I will do for mine. You can measure yours. And the front this is the front part of your body, so you will measure the width as to fit your body. Okay, so I'll let you know how many rows I'm gonna do at the end of mine. Here I finished my piece for the front, for one side. I did 12 rows, and you're gonna measure from the side where the seam of your clothes go to the front of your chest. Remember, you have to take account that you will wear a clothes underneath, and you will decide how many rows you're gonna give to yours. Something that I did to make it easy for me to know that I always have my 150 stitches was I count 50, and I put a marker, and I start between the 50 and the next one, and put the marker there, and I start again with 1, count 50 more, and put the marker, and then the other 50, and each row I will count 50, 50, 50. That way I have my 150. Because this yarn is corrugated, or I don't know, you hardly see the stitches when you are working with. So for me it was easy that way to have my all my stitches perfect. So I'm gonna show you now how to do the back part. Here is where I'm gonna start the back part. And to the back part, I'm gonna divide my piece in half. I have 150 stitches, so I'm gonna divide it in 75 and 75. That's 75 for the back and 75 for the front. I'm gonna count 75 double crochet, and I will put the marker, and then I will show you how to continue doing the back part. Here I mark my 75 with the marker. And now what I'm going to do is crochet 75 double crochet all the way to the marker. When I have my 75, I will chain 3 and turn my work around, and I'll do those 75 double crochet again to do the width of the open for the collar for the neck and the back. So I will show you when I get to the end of the marker how to come back, and I will let you know how many rows I will do for mine. I want to show you anyway. For the 75, you will do exactly the chain 3, turn your work around, and you will work in the back strand, and you will do your 75. You have to make sure that you have 75, so you have to be counting. For me 75, remember, for you will be whatever amount you're doing, you have to divide it on half. So I'll meet you when I get to the marker. Here I finished my 75 stitches. Now I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to turn my work around, and I'm going to work on those 75 until I have the width that I like. And I had to finish here in the top, not in the bottom, and the top. That way I will chain my other 75, and I will carry the work exactly the same as I did in this side. Remember, you have to continue working in the back strand of the yarn here. That way you get that nice design in your sweater. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous yarn with this color. So I will meet you here when I finish this part. Here I finished doing the back. Now I'm gonna tell you in measurement how much this measure. That way you know, just in case you do this with a different yarn. This piece here, the first one that we did before we started doing the back, this 12 row measure 21 centimeter, and the back here is 9 row and measure 16 and a half centimeter. Yeah, this part, 9 row, what I did for the back, and then I finished it in the top. Now I'm gonna do 75 chain plus 3 to turn work around, and those 3 will count as the first double crochet. So we're gonna start with a chain of 75, and remember, it had to be in that part. Like that, there. Here was where I finished that row, and I'm gonna start my chain of 75 plus 3, and those 3 will count, like I say, as the first double crochet. I'm sorry, but I started working without realizing that I wasn't recording. And what I did my 75, and you'll do how many you're doing in chain 3, and then you start doing your double crochet. I did my 75 double crochet until here, and then now I'm doing my other 75 for a total of 150. I already put the marker here for my first 50, and I have the other marker here for the other 50, and then I'll have 50 more to do. You will do this account as the first row, and then you will have to do 11 more if you're doing exactly the same size as I'm doing, for a total of 12. And after that we'll go to start doing the sleeves. Here I finished my 12th row for the other side, so I'm gonna chain 1 and cut my yarn, and then later we'll lose those tails, and we're gonna start working on the sleeves. This color is amazing. It looks like the fall with the leaf changing. Is amazing. I love this color. Okay, you're gonna end with a piece like this, the square, and then here is what I have marked my 50 stitches, 50 for the front, 50 for the back, and the 50 and there for the sleeves. And after we do the sleeve, we're gonna be working in here in the middle with the other color yarn. Now we're gonna start working on the sleeve, and here is the marker, my first marker from this side. And I'm gonna go here at the first one. I'm gonna do a slip knot, and we're gonna go here to the first stitch. We're gonna do slip stitch, and we're gonna chain 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna lose that tail as I go, and we're gonna be working again in those 50 stitches that we left there for the sleeve. We put the marker in between of those 50, and then we will do the 50 in this first row. In the next row we'll decrease 2 stitches, 2 in the beginning one in the beginning and one in the end. And like that we're going to decrease in every single row until we get to the elbow. Once there, you will work straight. If you don't want to do any decrease and you want a big sleeve, very wide sleeve, you can continue working like that. But for mine, I will start narrowing the sleeve. And then you will work until around here, and then you will do with the other color that part. That if you want to work with two colors, but if you working just with one color, you will continue until you finish the sleeve. And like this one, you will do the other one. And remember, always working in the back strand that stitched before. So I'll meet you here when I have my 50 double crochet. Here I finished my 50 double crochet. Now I'm gonna chain 2, not 3 but 2, and each time we chain we will be 2. That is for the decrease. And now we're gonna do a back double crochet in the back part, and that will be the decrease in there. You continue all the way to the end, and I will show you how you're going to decrease. And here, when we come back in the next row, you see we'll be working on top of this one, not on top of that one, so that will be the decrease in there. Here I'm going to finish in the last one with double crochet, and I'm going to do one on top of the chain there. I'm going to chain 2, and that will be the decrease on this side. You'll see how when I go to the other end, and you're going to continue doing your double crochet. And if you look here, I've already started to get that shape more narrowed that way. I'm going to show you at the end of this row, and then I will work off camera and I will let you know how many rows I did until the elbow, and from there on the length that I'm going to give with this color. Here at the end of this row I will have the double crochet and the chain 2, and in the top of that double crochet you're going to do a double crochet, and if you count in that row you will have 48. Okay, that's the third row. And you're going to continue doing that, chain 2, turn your work around, and do your double crochet, and you continue until the elbow, and from there you go straight, so you will work straight. Here I wanted to show you what the sleeves look like, open like this. I start here, and you see how I start to narrow that way. From the first row, I did 15 rows with decrease, and 4 rows just those stitches without any decrease or increase, just straight. It's a total of 19 row, and I have 34 stitches left. It's 34 double crochet, and I'm gonna do like 2, 3, or 4 rows with this color. Here I wanted to show you so far how the sweater look. I done the 2 sleeves. They need sewing, and then after that we're gonna do the front part, you know, the part that go all the way around with the other color in here. If you like, you can, after you sew the sides, you can try it on and you can leave it like that without nothing else, it's like a jacket, open like that, or you can continue and do the piece that I'm going to do to mine and put buttons or leave it without buttons. It's up to you. Here I finish my 2 sleeves, and now I'm going to sew them together, and here I left some yarn of this color to sew this little piece here, and when I finish sewing there I will loose that tail through the inside, and I will grab yarn this color and I will sew the side of the sleeve and all the way to the side of the sweater. So I will show you. We're gonna sew here And again, to make this part more strong, like that. And now I'm gonna sew in a zigzag from one side to the next one, sewing just this until I get here. When I get here, I will lose the tail and continue sewing. So I'll meet you here when I finish sewing my two sleeves and the side of the sweater. I finished sewing the two sides, and now I'm here in the arm. And now we're gonna do with this color the piece that we're missing here in the front. Here we're gonna start doing one double crochet on top of each double crochet all the way around until we get here to the corner here. And here we're gonna do some increases, and there is where the increases will go, and the rest stay the same. We're gonna start with a slip knot. I'm gonna come here to the corner, and I'm gonna do three chains, and they will count as the first double crochet. Now we're gonna do one double crochet on top of each double crochet. And since here was where I did the chain, you'll see that you only have one strand to work your double crochet. So I'll meet you here when I get to the corner. Here I finished with my double crochet on top of each double crochet, and I had two left here and then the corner. What we're gonna do is, in these two that we have left, we're gonna make four, two in each top of the double crochet, one and two together. And I'm gonna put a marker here, that way I know where I did the increases. And then in the next one I'm gonna do two together. Right in the corner here I'm gonna do two together. Hope you guys can see well. So far I have 6 on top of these 3, and I'm gonna come here to this double crochet that is sideways here, and I'm gonna do two together in the middle of that one. So in a total of 8 double crochet together. Well, they're separate, but you know together mean 2 and 2 and 2. Now in top of this sideways double crochet I'm gonna do 2 double crochet, but not exactly in the same space. I'm gonna try to make them a little separate, and like that you're gonna continue all the way to the last one here. That in this last one is where you're gonna start with 2 together, and then 2 in the corner, and 2 in each top of this one and this one. And then here you go start on top of this one, the third one. You will start doing just 1 on top of each one. I hope you guys understand my explanation. When you get to the end, you start again, chain 3, do 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet until you get to the here to the increases, and you will start doing the increases again. Okay? You'll do, you know, 1 in between, but 2 together in the V. Here I wanted to show you one of the corners. This is one, and this is the other one here. I put some marker, that way I know. And this is the back. So I finished all the way to the end. Now I'm going to chain 3. Turn my work around, and I'm going to do again 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet, and working in the back that stitch, like that, in the back strand of yarn. When I get to the increases, I will show you what we're gonna do there, and after that you'll continue all by yourself doing how many rows you would like for your sweater. And when I finish mine, I will let you know how many I did for mine, and this it will make the color and everything with the increase. Here I get into my first marker, so I'm gonna remove that one, and in that space I'm gonna do one single crochet. And in the next one I'm gonna do two together. Now I'm gonna place my marker beside those two together. Now I do one single and two together, and then it will be one single and two together, like that. You're gonna continue until you get to the marker, and then when you get to this part, you're gonna do one on top of each other, and then you'll do exactly the same that you did in the other side here with the increases. And then after you've passed the marker, you will do one double crochet on top of each double crochet until you get to the end, and you chain 3 and will return and do exactly the same that you did in this row. After you finish that, you will try it on and see if you like it like that. If it's not, you continue and do a few more rows with this color. So I'll meet you here when I finish all this part of the sweater. Here I wanted to show you how the sweater or jacket gonna look like after you finish with the front part. I did 5 rows, and that's how the color gonna look like. And I have 4 buttons to sew them in here. And I don't made any buttonhole because the in between every double crochet can be one of the hole. So I'm gonna sew the buttons and I will show you how they look like. These buttons that I select, they are like, they have different color, like a wood. They look like wood, and it go perfect with the look of the sweater. I'm gonna make a belt with this color too to tie on the waist. So I'm gonna sew my buttons and I will show you how we're gonna make the belt. Here I wanted to show you that I already sew my buttons. I sew them in between 2 double crochet, so when you're going to close them, it will be in between 2 double crochet. That way it acts as a buttonhole. Okay, so now let's start making the belt. Now I'm gonna make the belt. I'm gonna do it off camera, and that way when I finish and I'll show you, I will explain how you can do it. That way it's easier for you when you see it in front of you, the belt. Here is the belt that I made. I cast 150 chains plus 3, turn my work around, and I did 150 double crochet, and I chained 3 and turned my work around, and I did 150 double crochet, only working in the back strand of yarn at the stitch, like we did in all our sweater. And like that I did my belt. So now I'm going to show you the end result. The amount of yarn that I used was 4 balls of 170 grams plus what is missing in this one, around 70 more. So around 4 1/4. That's what I use for the main color. And for the accent color I use 1 and not even a quarter of this one, like maybe 3 or 4 ounces of this one to finish the belt. So that's the amount of yarn you're gonna need, like 4 1/2 of the main color and 1 1/4 of the accent color. Here I want to show you the end result. It looks amazing, the sweater. I love the fall color of the yarn, and the combination with the golden is amazing. Give you a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And something that I wanted to mention too is, if you like, you can add 2 more buttons here. If you have 6, you can add 2 more and it will be a little closer to the top like that, and it will look like that. but I only have 4, and those are the 4s that I use, 4 of that color. Well, I hope you guys like it, and give it a try, and have a beautiful day. Bye.